Hey, what's going on TikTok? It's your boy, Brother Leon. The one thing that a lot of us as Christians, we believe that if, my faith was strong enough, this would have turned around. If I would have just held out a little longer, this would have turned around. And the crazy thing about it, I felt like that if I would have sown to certain things and things would have turned around. And that's what we believe. And it makes us think that when those things don't happen, like, God, why? I'm serious. I had to make sense of divorce happening in my life because at the time I was building a ministry. And then during the time that I was going through divorce, I was putting out all types of content thinking that if I sold what I needed, if I sold the answer into other people's lives, and it'll work for me. It didn't work. As hard as I prayed. And then I asked myself, like, God, why am I not good enough? To hear your wife say, God told me to divorce you. And then you ask yourself, God, why wasn't I good enough to keep this marriage? Why did you tell her to divorce me when everything that I've always done has been for you? Kids was in church. We stayed in church. We lived in church. Our whole life was church because I thought that if I took and handled God's business, that he would take and keep mine. And I thought that I could heal the marriage by giving her things and buying her things and taking her places, only to come to the cold reality that it did not work. And it made me question my faith in God. It made me question myself. And at the end of the day, the question remains, why wasn't I good enough for God to turn this around? Seriously. And a lot of you right now, you're giving all types of money, hoping that breakthrough will happen, and it don't. And then you have certain spiritual leaders that make it look like it's your fault that you didn't get it. It's your fault that you didn't believe hard enough. You died of COVID because you didn't have faith, but you was yet coming out. And they didn't hold up on their end by keeping the building clean. So you ask yourself, why wasn't I good enough? Why wasn't my mama good enough to live? Why wasn't my granddaddy good enough to stay around here? Why wasn't my father good enough? Why wasn't my